Hi, hello, welcome to episode 20 of Gilganos playing Dawntrail. Last time we killed the Ralja. It was a pretty cool trial, actually. Yeah, then after that, Queen Sphene took the key to fusing worlds, which is what Zoralja had, which is, as it seems, the only thing that she needed from Zoralja, which is kind of funny because I'm like, what, really? Couldn't she have just taken it from him in those 30 years then? But I guess not. And then she fled to her own reflection, as it seems, to do whatever. And that's where we are now. Called Living Memory. Reminds me of an emerald. Well, let's see. Go, go, go. The City of Gold is an apt description indeed. This is my world. My home. Tural! Oh no, wait, second. Wrong, sorry. Neither the void nor the first. We are indeed come to an unknown reflection. Amazing! Absolutely amazing. Yeah, it looks like Las Vegas. Actually. We've literally stepped into the Yokhui legend. Whichever reflection this may be, it would seem the barrier between here and the source is thin in Yoktil. That would explain the Yokhui's visions and the location of the gate. Hey Aaronville, that volcano over there, you don't suppose it's real, is it? An actual volcano spewing forth lava in the middle of a city? I'd like to see that. Hey, you never know. Look, there's a path down. Let's see where it goes. Yep, I only see one path down though. And it's not the one they took. Yay! I see electrope is used here too. Is it? I mean, obviously it is, but where did you see that? Oh, you mean the aetheryte? There's no mistaking the design of this aetheryte. The people here, could they be dead? I'm a little confused. Like, are they dead? Welcome to Living Memory, a place where the endless endure forevermore. How may I help you? Well, okay, never mind. Obviously. Unit identification, Clerk PX0006. I am stationed here by the Gate of Remembrance to answer visitors' queries. Please inform me should you require assistance. Gate of Remembrance serves as the entryway to Living Memory. From here, each area is accessible via zipline. Cool. Canal Town, resort of relaxation and romance. Yesterland, where dreams come true. Isle Volcano, bastion of the fearless. And last but not least, Wind's Path Gardens, where you may sate your spirit of inquiry. Feel free to visit any area that appeals to you. Newcomers, however, must be registered in order to use the ziplines. Visiting the Meso Terminal first is advised. Okay. It's strange. I've never been to this place before, it somehow makes me feel nostalgic. Unlike Everkeep, with all its advanced technology, here it's brick and stone. It's like we've traveled to the past. It probably is. The differences may be more superficial than you think. Take a good look at the buildings around us. If they are even... if they actually exist, right? Weird place, I guess. There's electrope everywhere, along with myriad contraptions. Like how Sphene projects her image onto soldiers, I believe the city appearance is artificial. Ah, makes sense. This aetheryte is identical to the one in Everkeep, is it not? This suggests that this place is Alexandrian. That would seem a fair assumption. In light of all this, could it be this city... Could it be this city is Everkeep's missing 12th level? Welcome, friends. Welcome. Hello? Who are you? My name is Constancy, and like you, I am an Endless. We have been recreated from the memories of those who have exhausted their souls, the departed in other words. Great effort is taken to ensure the integrity of your memories, so it will feel no different from when you were flesh and blood. Which means that we're gonna meet Namika here, and probably Kafkiwa, and probably also Cryo's parents, right? Let's go along with it for now. I am a caretaker here at Living Memories, City of the Endless, and it is my pleasure to provide guidance to newcomers such as your good selves. City of the Endless? At a glance there seems to be many different facilities. What kind of place is this? Simply put, it's basically paradise, right? It's their version of, it's Sven's version of paradise. Simply put, it is a recreational attraction. The city is divided into 4 areas, each of which captures scenery that wants to find our continent. Now, it doesn't really actually look that big that it would need so much energy. I'm not even sure how this works. Like, I'm thinking this is probably all... I mean, I am thinking that this doesn't actually exist, you know, like, it's like Xanarkand, right? It's just dreamed up, it's just digital, it's somewhere in some... Maybe even on those computers that we saw, right? In Origenic. But then again, we went through a gate to a different reflection, so this should be somehow real. Oh, I guess they need energy to project the memories and the appearances onto the robots, right? And also all the appearances of all these buildings and stuff onto the electrode, right? So they went a step further than Emerzog. Well, actually, no, they didn't. Emerzog also put the memory of his people into Emerald, right? As we've seen with Hitler days. In this way we ensure that what is lost is not forgotten, that all precious memories endure forevermore. In Everkeep's early days, this place was used by the living, but it was made a haven for the endless hundreds of years later. Now then, if you would please follow me, I shall give you a guided tour. Take care as take care as wildlife brought here for preservation roams freely. Hold on a moment. While a tour would be interesting, it's Sven that we've come to see. Oh, so you wish to meet the Queen. In that case, you are in luck. It was just announced that Her Majesty will enter into a slumber, but there is still time. If you try calling to her before the Meso Terminal at the center of the city, she will likely appear. I'm not sure how things work around here, but let's head to this Meso Terminal. Oh, thanks, Constancy. We'll take you up on the tour next time. I shall look forward to it. Good luck seeking out Her Majesty. Isn't that a weird thing to say? Oh yeah, we've come here to see Queen Sven. When we're like acting as if we just died and are now endless in here. Wouldn't he like figured it out immediately? Shouldn't he? Like the chamber in the sky deep Xenarty, the electrode here produces a strong golden light. A difference in energy levels, perhaps. I'm not sure if that is like should be signifying the Queen. If yes, that's a little egotistical. It's a weird path. I wonder, can the endless venture elsewhere, or can they only survive here? Probably only here. Well, actually, I mean, Sven can also survive elsewhere, right? But it did say that, you know, like the endless are very limited to where they can exist, right? The plants are real as far as I can tell. Not everything is an illusion. Then again, it probably just needs to be connected to here, right? Which is why Sven and Kafkiwa were able to possess bodies at Heritage Found. And then, of course, once the connection was severed, Kafkiwa couldn't do that anymore, right?
Sven? Are you there? If you are, say something. We need to talk.
Hi.
Sven.
That you should come here.
I haven't known you long, Sven, but I know you have a good heart. Your love for your people is proof of this. I can't let you do what you're trying to do. And deep down,
We don't even know what she's trying to
you
do.
want to do it either.
I want a world without suffering. A world where nothing is lost. Would that such a place existed, but the endless only grow in number, and ever more life forces needed to sustain them.
But the reason why they need more soul cells is that they don't use their own people's souls, which does not make any sense to me. So basically every time someone dies, they copy it back up here, right? But they already have multiple souls in use for every person. Because every person died multiple times before they actually die, right? Aren't those souls recycled? Am I understanding this wrong? Maybe I just understood this wrong from the beginning. That would make a lot more sense, actually, now that I think about it. Because my understanding was that every time one of the people dies, their soul is being sucked out, their memory, like, back up, right? And then through the soul cells, a new soul enters the body to revive, basically, right? Which would make more sense to me than what seems to be actually going on, which is that only when a person dies of age and it can't be revived using soul cells, only then that happens. Which would mean that they do actually use the souls of other people to revive people, even though the soul of the original person is still in there, which does not make any sense to me. But it feels like that's what they are actually doing. Because if not, it doesn't make sense that, like the Endless would just get more and more, because I don't know. I think they didn't think enough about the rules of all of this, or I'm just too dumb to see it. It would just be logical to use the souls of those who actually died also again to, make soul cells, right? Because why not? And just back up the memories. Well, I guess even then, you would have more and more memories of people who died, right? I guess it does make sense that they grow in number. Yeah, I guess all my theories of how this exactly works in the end were based on that assumption that whenever they die, like the soul in the soul cell would inherit the body, right? Because how else would that work? How would a soul that is inside the body already use a soul to revive the body? I mean, I guess in the end, souls are just energy. I don't know, and that's just weird then. But of course, that's probably what it is, right? Because then everything else kind of makes sense. Except for the fact that they're using souls as energy. Then they owe me an explanation as to what the difference between the energy from souls is to the energy of lightning, for example. Then of course it would make sense why they need to collect souls from other beings. Yeah, I guess that's what they're going with. I still don't see this making a lot of sense. Expending the energy of a soul to revive a body with a soul in it. Also, that's kind of stupid. Why don't they just recycle the soul that's already in it? Yeah, I'm lost. I mean, I understand now, as I said, now everything makes sense. Also why that people think like, oh, that's not really nice, you use souls as energy. When I was like, oh yeah, no, they just switch out the souls, basically, right? So what's the problem with that? But as it seems, it's not like that. But now I'm just asking, why not? If they have the technology to suck the soul out of someone who died, and a soul can revive a body, then why wouldn't they just take the soul out of someone who died, recycle it, and use the same soul to power up the same body again? I mean, the problem with all of this anyways is, what about wounds? That is something that's never addressed, and that is why I'm like, okay, I'm not even gonna think too much about it because it's stupid anyways. What if someone is, I've said it before, right? It's just like pulverized into a billion pieces. How would they revive that person? They wouldn't, right? If someone is in an accident, I don't know, they lose 3 arms, they lose half their lower body, how do they revive the person? Because, of course, since this is a game, so far, all the bodies that actually died, they were just still in a pristine condition, right? So, what exactly does the soul do to revive someone? Because why would a soul be able to, bring a body back to life? But not ether, for example, right? I think my idea just makes a whole lot more sense. That they're just recycling the souls, oh, they instead of the soul, my understanding was that when someone dies, when they have a regulator, right, the soul would leave their body because they died, right? And that they basically they cannot stop that soul from leaving the body because it died, right? So what they do is, instead of having the soul go back to the ethereal sea, they would, you know, like through the regulator, bring it into their machinery and do the thing, right? And then the soul that is in the next soul cell would basically take over the body, because for some reason they can do that, right? So what the soul would be doing there, the soul energy, is to replace the missing soul, which makes sense, right? They replace the missing soul, and then somehow, I guess, they also, you know, like, I mean, they just have to, I don't know, get the brain back working, and maybe just have to, you know, like, fix some damage that the brain or the body had, right? And maybe, you know, like, copy the memories back in, right? And done. And all of these, you know, like, repairing the brain stuff, and that could be done with just normal energy, like lightning energy, right? Or ether, whatever. And just the missing soul is the thing that they would only be able to do with the soul energy, because of course soul energy is not the same as ether or lightning energy, right? And I think, personally, that makes perfect sense, right? Which is why I do have this weird understanding of why are you running out of souls, right? Because if you could just endlessly recycle the same soul, you wouldn't be running out of souls, right? Except, of course, if they still have people being birthed, which, as we know now, they have. But it also means that somehow, that just by giving birth to people, to children, they also get new souls, so... Right. Okay, so then the next thing is... Why do they need... hopefully it's gonna be explained, right? But why do they even need life force to sustain this? I mean, they literally back up the soul of the thing, of the person that is dying, back they up here. Why would they need more than one soul to sustain that person? I don't understand. But yeah, that with the recycling, that was my idea, right? But obviously that isn't the case. And now, as I said, I'm even more lost. Because if the soul remains in the body and they really just use the energy of a different soul to revive the body, then what the heck does that soul energy actually do? And what can it be used for? And why can't they use anything else for it? Because a dead body is just, you know, like, oh yeah, there's some ether missing, let's just heal that. I mean, obviously that's also what we can do with healing magic, right? The problem, of course, is if we have healing magic and reviving magic, then how can people even die, right? This is something that has not been addressed at all in the game, I think. Just my conclusion would have been, you know, like, you cannot replace the soul of a body if it has already left, right? So basically, once the body is too destroyed to actually keep alive, then the soul will leave the body, and you cannot keep that back with our healing magic, which is my headcanon, I guess, as to why we cannot revive anyone. Yeah, I'm still not sure how this now exactly works. I don't know. I mean, obviously, as it seems now, it is that they just use the energy of a soul in a soul cell to revive the person with the same soul as before, somehow. Looking forward to reading 1,000 comments trying to explain it to me, and me being like, no, it still doesn't make any sense. Well, let's see. Maybe they're gonna explain it more. But I feel like that this is a. And don't get me wrong. I do believe to understand now, as I just said, that they just use the energy of a soul to revive a person. But I'm still asking, like, okay, then what is the difference between that soul energy and normal ether or normal lightning energy, right? Because in my understanding, if someone's dead, their soul has already left the body. So are they just using the energy of the soul cell to keep that other soul in the body? But if that is the case, then why don't they just replace it and do what I have been saying and, you know, recycle the other soul back into the system and, you know, like, fill the body with this soul? Because then they wouldn't spend souls. Then they would recycle every single soul, right? Which is why I've been so confused, because in that case you don't ever need the souls of anyone else. Because you only have so many people as you have souls. I mean, you might want a few spares, of course, right? Because the first that die wouldn't have any spares, of course, if you only have X souls, which is the same amount of people that you have, right? But once you have a buffer, it shouldn't be an issue. But obviously that's not the case, so...
Within the barrier, we have managed to curb the cycle of rebirth these few hundred years. But we've reached the limit.
I still don't understand, though, what that has to do with sustaining. Why they need life force to sustain all of this. Still does not make any sense to me. Except for the case if they just use soul energy as energy. But then again, my question, what's the difference between soul energy and ether or lightning energy? Why can't they just use that?
That is why I looked to interdimensional fusion, to harvest what we needed from your world. From your people. And with the key, we will have it.
Also, that's completely stupid, because you're just postponing the problem then, right? You will all just always need more, and at some point there's not going to be any more soul energy left in the universe, and everything is just going to be in here, and you're going to be like, oops, well, now we die.
And once you've plundered our world of ether, what then? Will you do the same to others?
So now he's talking of ether. So are souls just same as ether? Is that what he's telling me? Is it just literally the same? Then why don't they use crystals? Ah! Okay, I guess I got my answer. It's literally the same, so... I guess it just prefers sucking on those tasty people ether than just, I don't know, natural ether condensing to crystals and stuff. Also, why not just go directly to the source? You know, like drill a hole, go down on Charleon, suck out the ethereal sea. I mean, maybe she is planning to do that.
All men eventually die. If you make endless of everyone, you will never have enough ether to sustain them.
Yeah, exactly.
You but prolong the inevitable.
That's what I just said. Thank you, Graha. But if it's just ether they need, then... I had a super complicated dose thing. And why aren't we able to just revive people like that then? Like everyone, if they are able to. I mean, maybe technology is just greater than magic, I don't know.
Sveen, if you would nevertheless persist in this folly, we must stand against you. For we too have people we cannot lose, places to which our hearts belong.
Damachi, I would have loved nothing more than to work hand in hand with you to tend our nations.
Sure, yeah, exactly.
But fate is cruel. By the time it had brought us together, our futures had already been written.
No, your idea makes zero sense still.
The kind and gentle Queen Sveen was too weak to serve her people, and so she will serve them no more. I will erase all memories of the living Sveen, she who has cursed me with this soft and powerless nature. Freed from conscience, I shall become a ruler that can protect Alexandria, a devourer of worlds.
Still doesn't make any sense. At some point you're gonna run out of ether anyways. When I still don't understand why they need more ether than they
there can only be one
produce anyways. Like, what do they need the ether for?
It is a hard truth, but one you understand, don't you?
Like for the projections? I thought the electrode would just be doing that. Well, I guess you need lightning energy for that. But then again, that's lightning energy, not the soul ether. You lost me. I don't know. I'll protect my world and all the others. If you're the devourer of worlds, then I am the guardian of the guardian of the worlds. This is such a stupid plan. I don't know. I mean, I can understand.
We're out of time. The process has begun.
I understand the thing of like, oh yeah, I want to preserve my people, but it's just like, you need to realize that you can't do this forever anyways. And in the process, you just eliminate everything else. Which is like totally stupid. And where does the soul energy for their children even come from? That's still also not been addressed. That was what I was assuming, you know, like when they had the barrier, I was assuming they were cut off of any natural cycle of life, which is why they would have had to come up with this artificial one, right? Because they didn't have an ethereal sea or anything to souls from, but obviously that's not the case because it can still give birth to people which obviously have new souls. So where do those come from? And why can't they just use that ether source first before they have to gorge on other beings?
Meso-terminal, memory deletion in progress. Upon completion, interdimensional fusion will commence.
Ah, I thought you would just be creating a new ruler. Alright, let's just hit it hard and look what happens. Let's just destroy everything here. As Fiend's intentions are good, her methods are anything but. We cannot yield any coast. No, her intentions are not good. Her intentions are completely stupid. The Endless was unsustainable from the first. Sphene has been fighting a lost cause. Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. The Endless exist in defiance of the laws of nature, but they exist nonetheless, with Sphene holding them to be no different from the living. You know, you could also just have just back up those memories, and if someone wants to talk to them, you could like copy them onto one of those robots and be like, oh yeah, let's talk to them. And have them live a life in a computer, which this might still be. This might still be a simulation in here. I don't know, right? Instead of whatever they need the energy for. What are we to do now, damn it? I felt that I had come to understand Sphene, but I'm still clueless, utterly clueless. It's because you're trying to understand an individual, but that individual doesn't actually exist. Oh, it's not, you know, like the master of herself, or whatever you want to call it. Those who live forever. Wuklamat's frustration is fairly palpable. It doesn't seem like we can do much else here. Let's return to the Aetheryte for now. The caretaker Constancy, perhaps he can tell us more about this business of Sphene going into slumber. That's a problem when you always have when you have this science fiction, right? And you have science that is not explainable with real world science, right? First of all, you need to somehow convey your idea of how this works, the rules to this science, to the people. And then you also need to think about a billion other things, which would, you know, like, be direct or indirect side effects of those rules being in place. Which is why, you know, like, science fiction series and also, you know, like, science fantasy and stuff like that tend to have those fans that are just like, yeah, in episode 72, when X did Y did blah 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 blah, etc, etc. It's exactly because of that. Because you instate some rules that aren't explainable with real life physics and rules and stuff, right? So people will always find something that doesn't work out. Which is why it's so important and so difficult to explain something like this, especially when it comes to souls, right? Something that hasn't even, you know, like there's no scientific proof that souls actually exist. On the one side, that makes it easier because you can basically do whatever you want, because people cannot say, yeah, but in the real life it's like that, because haha, it isn't, we don't know, right? But on the other hand, it's just like even more delicate, because everybody has their own idea of what a soul is, what you can do with it, and how it should work, right? And I just fail to see as to why they need the soul energy if it's just ether. And then I fail to see if it is just ether, why are we not able to use our ether to revive people then? I mean, we can do that, but we can't do that all the time, right? For some reason, because when they're too dead, they're just too dead. But what does too dead mean? When are they actually dead? When the soul left their body, how do they then use the soul of another person to keep that soul in? And if, or do they just exchange it, as I said? But if they just exchange it, then why do they have the problem with? It's just a huge rat tail. And at this point, I'm just unsatisfied with their explanation, which is why I will now stop thinking about it until they deliver me a satisfactory explanation. And if not, I'm just gonna be unsatisfied. Yay. Welcome to, yeah, whatever. He's left the area. He? Who? What? Oh, the guy. Whatever his name was. Is that... No, that's not him. A sign of constancy. Yeah, exactly. I totally remembered that name. I just wanted to test if you guys would still remember it. The time he's gone somewhere else. He's probably... I don't know. Maybe it just exists when new people arrive. He's nowhere in sight. Perhaps he has taken other recent arrivals on a tour. Looking for someone, are you? Yes, he was here earlier, a fellow named Constancy. Wait, what? That Kafkiwa? Hello everyone, you made it here, as I knew you would. That is Kafkiwa, right? Looks like the one in the... that was traveling with... I think she looks like the one that was traveling with Gulu Jaja. Is that who I think it is? It is! It's Kafkiwa! Just a shade. None other. This is the first time some of you are seeing me in the proverbial flesh, isn't it? Feast your eyes, then. She who was controlling that unassuming machine was a ravishing Shetona maiden. That was a bit much, wasn't it? Ignore me. So it was true that you're here means you're dead. I tried to tell you so many times, but my courage always failed me. I am indeed an endless. I've been for quite a while now. Aaronville. Now you've come to stop Sphenius. I can help with that, but I have a request to make. You know how to stop her then? Easy, of course she does. While there are no guarantees, you coming here makes it a distinct possibility. As my wish is relevant to your mission, will you hear me out? You can decide what to do afterwards. Excellent! To begin, we'll need to head to a different area. See that sentry? I'll have them grant you access to the zipline. Zipline? What is that? Fun little mode of transport. They don't see much use, though as we endless can teleport freely within living memory. This particular line will take you to a zone called Kenneltown. I'll be waiting for you there. Wasn't that the Romans and... whatever was that? Little Venice. With that endearing pushiness, it could only be Kafkiwa. Let's go. It's the memories of Kafkiwa, please. He doesn't think it's her. He just thinks it's just the memories of her. She's dead. And he's right. I still don't exactly understand what the souls do or don't or whatever. It has the look of the contraptions. It has the look of the contraptions found throughout the Isle of Harm, does it not? Oh yeah, right, I remember. I think I know how it works. I've got this. Kafkiwa has already teleported ahead, it seems. I'm sorry, it's just... she's gone. Yet to see and hear her carrying on like nothings... I don't know how to feel. You don't seem to be... bleep, blip. Error, user registration... confirmed. I bid you welcome to Kenneltown, the resort of romance and relaxation. Please enjoy your stay. Who's gonna go on a gondola tour with me? Reminds me of the Traino theme. Don't think it is the same, right? What a charming place. That's them, the people's fiend strives to protect. They don't even know they're dead. They look happy. So what's this request of yours? I wanted to erase us. Erase the endless. Wait, that's the exact thing we wanted to do anyways, right? What? Why are you surprised? That's what we wanted to do anyways, right? I mean, we want to stop Sphene. Well, I guess stopping Sphene isn't exactly the same as stopping this, but it's kind of they're kind of connected, right? If Sphene isn't anymore, this place isn't gonna be for long. And by erase, she means... But now let us hear the rest. ... Kafkiwa must have her reasons. Well, erasing the endless would make Sphene's attempts to slurp out everything else in the universe futile. Oh, come now, spare me those gloomy faces. Being alive, you're the only ones who can do this. And we won't have a better opportunity than now while Queen Sphene is busy preparing to initiate interdimensional fusion. It's wrong to sacrifice others to sustain the endless, this I firmly believe. But talking to you now, you seem as real as any of us. And if you need an answer right away, I don't know if I can give it. Is there a reason we need to act so soon? Yeah, because once the dimensional fusion is done, we're gonna have issues probably. Because, as you've just said, it's wrong to sacrifice others to sustain us. Remember, we need life force. Other forms of ether don't cut it. Would you, please, provide me an explanation for that? That would be really nice. Because, you know, like, ancients could just form ether to living beings, and vice versa. And then they just took apart the living beings and made clothes out of it, right? So, in my understanding, ether is ether. In the beginning, we managed with the ether of those who died in the barrier, but as our numbers grew, there began to be a shortage. So you only recycle the memories, but not the souls of the people that die? Am I understanding this correctly? The memories are transported here, and the souls are used for energy. But these are literally like soulless beings then. Right? Is that how it works? That's why Queen Sphene looked to other sources. Even the ether I'm composed of may have come from the victims of the attack on Tuliolal. Or are they just okay, so I guess they're using the ether from the souls to form your body. So your body isn't a robot just showing glamours. Right? I guess that would make a little more sense then. You know, like that only the ether of living souls can form a living, breathing, functioning body. But what happens to the soul then? Because that is also what happens if you... I mean, is it used up in the process? Then how exactly are children born? And if you have a living, breathing body made out of a soul with whatever process you need, do you then need another soul to inhabit that body? How does this work? Did anyone think of how this exactly works? I can't bear that thought. Can't bear to exist because someone died. You'd probably feel the same way if you were in your shoes, but what exactly are you asking us to do? I have so many questions. In each zone there is an enormous data storage device called a terminal. That is where our memories are kept. If you shut down a terminal, the memories within will disappear, along with those endless created from them. But does this need to be done now? Can't we stop Sphene first and then take it from there? It's precisely in order to stop Sphene that it must be done now. Yeah, exactly, because if you don't have any memories anymore, there's no need to sustain more the endless. So there's no need for her to do whatever she needs to do, wants to do. Her own memories are stored within the mesoterminal, which stands at the heart of living memory. As you would expect, the terminal's defenses are extremely tight, but it has moments of vulnerability, such as when it has just finished calculations, which we can exploit to shut it down from within. While we wait for that opening, we erase the endless. Once we are gone, Sphene will no longer have a reason to plunder ether from other worlds. Well, except of course if she just starts over and does it again with, like the people who are still alive. Would Fiend simply allow us to shut down the terminals? In preparation for fusion, the Meso terminal is currently performing massive calculations while gathering energy. Even if the system notices us, it cannot easily suspend the process. Rather than doing so, I believe it will attempt to accelerate the timetable and bridge worlds before the plan can be thwarted. It wouldn't be a decision Sphene would wish to make, but she would be able to save those who are stored in the Meso terminal at least. There's sense in your strategy and in resolving to stop Sphene. We had anticipated it might come to this, but to actually talk about erasing the Endless is difficult. Why? Why? Why is it difficult? I don't think so. Why is it difficult? Like, first of all, they died already, and the memories of them have been erased from everyone. I mean, if you see those here as actual living beings, then I mean, yes, but that's a little something different. Like, for me, it's if you can be erased by just someone doing terminal and shutting that terminal down, you have a very weird existence, right? So I mean, it's just like, I mean, I would just look at them as like being robots, basically mimicking the persons that they have been before. Which is easy for me to say because I don't have anyone there, of course. I mean, if someone died, someone I loved would die, and I would be able to see them again there, I don't know how I would feel, honestly, because it's weird. Because it's just their memories being backed up in a computer, and then done whatever with it. Then again, on the other hand, it's kind of like like if you could just have someone being born and just give them the memory of that person who died. Very, very, very philosophical. I'm very glad that we don't have to tackle these questions in real life, and hopefully we don't have to do so while I'm still alive. But I mean, whatever. Just go to the computer and shut it down. Besides, stopping Sphene requires that you shut down the Meso terminal, which sustains all of us. Sooner or later, it will need to be done. If we are to be erased, then let it be before more people come to harm. Living, breathing people with futures they deserve to experience. Also, although I still have no clue how this exactly works with the souls. Like, does the soul dissipate when a body is created? Is it still existing? Does it form the same soul again once the body is being killed, like with Zoralja? Then they would just return to the ethereal sea and rejoin the cycle of being reborn anyways, right? So that's a good thing, right? We cling too much to the memories of people we know instead of, like, in this world, it's like, I mean, as long as you keep them from being this in this form, you're keeping them from progressing their lives, in air quotes, as a soul, right? Basically. Even though whatever that is completely wacky at this point in this game, since we can literally go to the ethereal sea where the dead people are, right? Which is like, wowza. Will do as you ask. I don't care about you. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's a cool character, but I mean, it's like, things that need to be done. I know people often call me like, like, oh, I'm a heartless bastard. I know. I do have feelings. Trust me, believe me. It's just like I'm very pragmatic. It's like, yes, sure, I'm here to kill Sphene. I am in full awareness that Kafkiwa is dead and that she will be dead in the future, as all of us will be. I've probably a rather different view on life and death than many other people, which makes it rather easy for me to be like, yeah, just die, whatever. I mean, no, it's obvious it's really clear what happens to you when you die in this game. You go back to the ethereal sea, and at some point you're reborn. Like, nothing bad about that. And as a personal request, while her actions cannot be condoned, I ask that you afford Queen Sphene a measure of understanding. Now that she herself didn't choose to become an Endless. Oh yeah, also that's like actually, I'm actually looking forward, and I hope that at some point they're gonna give us, the reincarnated Hitlerdeus and Emet-Selch. In like a character that is being born and a child that we know. Oh hey, look, that is Emet-Selch. Oh, like Emet-Selch's soul. It was preservation that made the choice for her. She is powerless to resist her purpose. What do you mean? Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like for me, it's like if you're a living being, you have free will. Or you should have free will. And if you don't have that, although I know there's a philosophical discussion of do we actually have free will or is everything, like pre-planned? Because, you can be like, doesn't matter in which situation you're being put in. The kind of person you are already determines how you would react to that situation anyways, right? So free will is just an illusion. That's that theory, which I don't think is true. I do believe in free will, and in like us being able to actually decide on a whim or whatever. I mean, I actually, now that I think about it, can't you just disprove this statement by just saying, yeah, but what if I roll a dice or flip a coin, and depending on that, I decide. Except, of course, if you say, yeah, but it's also predetermined on which side the coin is gonna land. Then, I mean, if you believe that, if you believe in like the fate, which means that everything you will ever do is predetermined, I mean, then there's obviously no free will anyways, right? Which is not what I believe, but yeah, whatever. Let's get back to less philosophical questions, maybe. Well, actually, no, it's the exact same. Harnessing the love the living Sphere bore for her people, they brought forth an eternal queen whose primary directive is to preserve the endless. But see, that's the problem. That's the point for me. To me, Queen Sphere is not a person. She's just a principle, right? That someone used her memory to create something that serves a purpose. So that's just not a person for me anymore. Even though it mimics a person. If you create a robot that perfectly mimics a person. Is that a person or not? Or is it a robot? You know, like you can't just shut it off and shut it on, turn it on again. Although I do have, you know, like my own beliefs about artificial intelligence, because, you know, like to me it's like, what's the difference between a artificial body and a natural body? Because, you know, like our bodies are machines as well. They just are based on carbon and they work a little differently than the machines we make, right? But if we are able to recreate a human brain artificially, then what's the difference between that brain and the brain of a person, even though it's just made out of code and right? So if at the point when this is actually going to be a fun thing, because I'm usually, you know, like whenever people are like, oh yeah, it's 2024 now, you can't call people whatever, you can't call people right now, right? The R word, and the R word, of which for a long time I didn't even know what people meant with the R word, and I was like, hey, what do they mean? And then I was like, really? Okay, whatever. And all those things, right? And then whenever you want to be a politician, someone is gonna be looking at whatever you wrote on iMessenger or whatever 30 years ago, right? And it's like, oh, there they use the R word, so no, they can't be president of the United States or whatever, right? And then people don't understand it. They're like, you know, like when you say, yeah, you know, like it's been a different time back then. It was just different. It doesn't mean that it was good. That it was right to do that, right? But it was the public perception of whatever could have been said or not was different than nowadays. And then, especially the young people don't really understand that, because, you know, like they grew up with that, right? And then what I do to show them what I mean is like, all right, look, if you have an artificial intelligence, a nowadays artificial intelligence, like, I don't know, Neurosoma or whatever you want to see, right? Or ChatGPT, etc., etc. Would you say that this is a person, that this entity of artificial intelligence should have the same rights as humans? Most of my students, if not all of which I've asked this question so far, would be like, lol, no, why? It's just code and program, right? And I'm like, okay, let me just record this, and then in 40 years, you know, when we are actually discussing about, hey, should artificial intelligence in Android bodies and stuff have the same rights as human rights, because at that point they might just be as realistic and as lifelike as normal people. Then I'm just gonna be like, hey, but 40 years ago you said this, so you cannot be the president of the United States, even though you might have changed your opinion since then. They'd be like, yeah, but it was a different time. Yeah, exactly. Nowadays code is just code, but in 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, maybe 100 years, I don't know. Maybe we are gonna have actual lifelike artificial intelligence that you cannot differ from real people, right? Except for the fact that they can do logical calculations much more quickly than normal people, probably. And then maybe at some point, you know, that's gonna be like, yes, AIs have the same rights as humans. And then it's gonna be like, oh, about 30 years ago, you sent a tweet on Z. Because at that point, it's not gonna be X anymore, I guess. That you are saying, oh lol, this is just code, why would it have human rights? That's what people mean when they say, you know, like, hey, it was a different time back then. Alright. But as you know, the Endless consume ether. No, I don't. That is exactly what I've been asking for so long. I mean, I also consume ether. We also consume ether. We eat things, which is consuming ether. Sphene was compelled to find ways to procure it, and that compulsion has driven her to resort to interdimensional fusion. What about growing apples on trees? I still don't understand how you consume ether. Nobody said that so far. Right? And how would they... I am so... What? Are you telling me the original Sphene wouldn't have chosen this? But the Queen might have done, only she herself would know. But the scientists of preservation have vanished, leaving the created Queen to walk alone. So as you go about your mission, think not that you're stopping a ruthless villain, but rather that you're relieving a troubled soul of a burden. Oh, now she's suddenly a soul again. I thought she was just memories. Are you kidding me? What? Is this... I need to replay this with the German translation, because the German translation usually sticks a lot closer to the original Japanese translation than the English one does. Maybe this is just a huge translation mess, because I am not able to follow you. I know she probably just... That's the point. I know they probably just use the word soul here, not in actual soul, but you know, like it's just like, oh yeah, the poor soul, right? But it's very poor choice of words where we're literally talking about souls, the ether that souls produce, that they're made of, etc. It's like, you're not helping me understand any of this. I need to replay this with a second, or probably with a second character at some point with the German translation. Or maybe even with the original Japanese and just, you know, like, I don't know, have spent 10 years learning Japanese just so I can actually read the original, because this does not make any sense. Alright, Kafkiwa, we understand now about your reasoning and your feelings, both your reasoning and your feelings. But before we erase the Endless, I'd like to know them. I'd like to know what she fights tooth and nail for. Why? Why would you want to know that? That just makes it harder to do. Are you kidding me? Ugh. If you're going to reject someone's beliefs, let it be after we've come to understand them. This is a lesson I learned from the Rite of Succession. Yeah. I realize we're pressed for time. Really? Do you? I don't think you do. No. As doesn't Square Enix with all the stalling they're doing, but okay. This is gonna be 2 parts, for sure. But if it's alright with you, I want to meet as many people as I can. This is so... doesn't make any sense. You truly are a glue judge's kitten. Well, the calculations will take a while still. It should be fine if we do this as we proceed to the terminus. Also, nobody ever addressed the fact if time is actually gonna go faster here or not. I need to look up the dialogue I'm gonna look up the dialogue Roha would have spit out there right now and right now. If I only remembered which one it was. It wasn't Heritage Found, right? So it was somewhere level 97, I guess. I guess I could have a look at the Endless Journal, right? Let's do that afterwards, actually. I'm with you. We might not be able to learn everything, but it would nevertheless be meaningful if we could glimpse the hearts of those who inhabit this place before we set them free. They probably don't even know that they're dead. Although I don't know why Kafkiwa knows then. I'll leave you to it then. When you're finished here, come and find me at the fountain near the big clock tower. Right, let's split up and find some locals to speak with. It really is a lovely place. You should run along and enjoy it while you can. You there, have you tried the popcorn from the stall? Yes, only 1 billion times already in the last 1,000,000 years. You haven't, you don't know what you're missing. I consider myself something of a gourmand, and believe me when I say the classic salt flavor is amazing. The saltiness is simply exquisite. That's the only way to describe it. Once you have a mouthful, it's impossible to stop until it's all gone. And after you've tried that, I urge you to seek out other stores. There are lots of them everywhere, offering all manner of delights. That will for sure be novel for the next eternity. Or two. For another recommendation off the top of my head, the ice cream over in Ale Volcane. It's so smooth and rich and... ice cream. Just thinking about it has given me a hankering. That's it, I'm going to go and have some right now. Yay, what a nice life, I guess. The Endless seemed to eat the food with relish, but it couldn't be real, could it? Welcome, we have popcorn and cookies by way of snacks and mugs and plushies for the memories. Give me all of them. Why are you 3 times your height apart from each other? Why doesn't she say anything? I mean, it's pretty cool that, you know, like, once, you know, you die, then you will be reunited with your loved ones, right? Then again, they might have moved on at that point anyways, right? Like, imagine, like, your partner dies. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna live on for another 10 years, and then when I die, I will be reunited. And then you come here and they're just like, oh yeah, no, I found someone new in those last 10 years. Sorry. Because that's probably what's gonna happen. Part of me hopes that my parents are here too, but it's probably too much to ask for. I've also been thinking that already. Oh, hello there! Taking in the sights of Kenneltown too, are you? Both my wife and I just adore this place. We had become estranged in life, she and I, but being here gave us a chance to reconcile. I couldn't be more grateful for the chance to spend these blessed little moments together again. Until the end of eternity. I have no more regrets, whether Her Majesty's plan succeeds or no, I can rest with peace in my heart. Well, we shall continue on our way, but we hope to see you again. Till next time. This reminds me on a Doctor Who episode, right? Where, you know, like, there's a machine in place that basically sucks up all the dying people. Although it's a little more horrifying there. A lot more horrifying, actually. But, you know, like, just the thing of having an artificial cycle of life and death in place, or, you know, it's not even a cycle, right? Because they just end up here and then they're here until eternity. It's just an artificial paradise, basically. I mean, those people died. Well, they're not actually people, right? Do they have souls? Do they have not souls? I don't understand. I don't know. But if we turn off the terminals, it's not like they're gonna be dying again, right? This is so it's so complex. It's so difficult to emotionally attach to, because, you know, like, you just can't imagine this in real life because we don't have the technology to do it. And if we had the technology, probably we wouldn't understand it anyways, how it actually works, right? Because this is just made up. This is science fiction. Really difficult to emotionally attached to it. For me, at least, because, you know, like, before I would decide if I would see these people as people or not, like as actual living, breathing beings, right? I would like to understand how this works. And as far as I understand now, I can't see those people as actual living beings, because they are just memories from on a computer, like pictures. Very good pictures, but still pictures. I don't feel bad when I delete pictures of myself. Well now, I don't believe I've seen you around before. A newcomer, I take it. It's wonderful here, let me tell you. Why, I just bumped into a dear friend in life, and we've been whiling away the hours reminiscing. It might have been more like days, actually. You don't get a sense of the time here. By the way, did you hear the announcement earlier? As much as I love this place, I wonder if Queen's Fiend can really sustain us forever. But I suppose there's no use worrying about such things. Anyways, thanks to you, we found a break in our conversation. We'll go and ride the gondola next. Have fun. Bye. And yeah, it's probably something different. Something different if you like the pictures, the images would actually be speaking to you and actually act like normal people, right? But it's just memories. Of course, they wouldn't think that they are actual people because they are literally constructed of their memories, right? I must say I'm starting to enjoy myself, even if it's only brief. This has the feel of a journey. I will not object to your decision, and as my mother says, you needn't feel any guilt. Yet I admit I myself am still conflicted. To have such doubts after coming all this way, it's laughable, isn't it? Your ancestors were refugees from Lindblum? What tales they must have. Wait, where am I going? Oh, I didn't even have to come over here. Oops. Wait, didn't I? Oh no, I did have to, and now I need to go over here. Which I've already been, where I've already been. Welcome, welcome. Have a browse and let me know when you're ready to order. You're here on the latest recommendation as well, I take it. Popcorn. I love popcorn. I had been wondering what the Endless do for sustenance, so it seemed a good opportunity to learn. Oh, this is your first time eating, is it? Yep. The food here is created using ether and memory data. To us, it tastes just like the real thing. So how about it? Would you care for some popcorn? So how does it taste to us? I mean, it is obviously ether, so that means... I guess that's the reason why they need ether, right? Because they actually still need to eat. Which doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. I mean, I guess if they're actual bodies... It doesn't make any sense if they're actual bodies. First of all, why do they just shut down when the terminal is shut down, right? If there are like self-sustaining bodies that need to eat to sustain themselves. I don't understand. Let's give it a try, shall we? Or did they just... whatever. Don't get me wrong, I do understand that, you know, like, if they are individual self-sustained bodies that they need to, you know, like, refresh their ether. Okay, I can live with that. But then why are they being shut down when the terminals be shut down? Because that would, for me, that would mean that they have, you know, like, the possibility to copy those memories to this entity that they're walking around with, right? And then what is the dependency to the terminal? I don't understand. Because obviously it's like their image, their memories are being live streamed from the terminal, I guess. To this body, of which I don't know if it's an actual natural body or if it's one of the robots that just uses glamours. That would be nice to have answered, because we know that Sphene works like that, but do those also work like that? Then again, Sphene of course just appeared in front of us without having a body, which might just have been a hologram. Maybe they are all holograms as well. Ah! That's the spirit. Find the table you like and I'll bring it right out. Unless you worry, there's no charge. All the food is free here. No, it's literally... Do you really want to eat popcorn that you exactly know is made of the souls of the dead? That's even a step further than just eating meat or something like that, right? Or even plants. I mean, plants have also been living beings, which is kind of why I'm... If you're eating salad, you're eating a living being. It's the same as eating... Well, it's not necessarily the same. It's not necessarily sentient, but then again, it's still a living being, you know, like... It's like... Or it was a living being. Yeah, but this is made of the souls of those people. It's not like the flesh of their bodies, right? Which is basically ether as well, which is like why I'm so confused, because it's all ether anyways. But apparently it's not. Food created with memory data. How will this taste to the living, I wonder? Good question. I want to dig in. I want to know. Well, as they say, there's only one way to find out. The good thing about this, of course, is, you know, like, you can, like, it can taste differently to every person that tastes it, because you can just be like, oh yeah, this tastes just like can, like, reactivate the memory of the best popcorn they've ever eaten and be like, oh yeah, this is the best popcorn I've ever eaten. Which is probably what is exactly happening here, which is why the one person liked it so much. But to us, it's gonna probably taste like nothing, I would assume. I'm surprised they actually can eat it. They can't even eat it. You sample a handful of popcorn. While it has texture, you can detect no taste whatsoever. There we go. Good God, it tastes like nothing at all. It's the Matrix. It's literally the Matrix we're in. I'm still not sure if all of this is actually existing or not, because if it wasn't actually existing, if it was all just data being projected somewhere, I'm assuming it's gonna be glamours. Electrope with glamours, including... I'm also assuming that the people are actually robots that use glamours, because anything else would not make a whole lot of sense. Or they're just holograms, but holograms... I mean, how would they interact with each other if they were just holograms? And again, we don't know if they interact with each other. With each other. But then again, how would they eat popcorn, which obviously exists because we as living beings can eat the popcorn. So how could holograms eat popcorn? Oh, I have so many questions. I have so many questions. Wait, what did he say? It's not a bestseller for nothing. And what about you? The saltiness is exquisite. I just repeat what the other guy said. It's funny, so it's just reactivating, like, this is the best popcorn. This would be so cool, actual food that is like that. Like, this is the best tasting burger that you've ever tasted. And you could just repeat it all over again. And the question is, of course, would that mean that the more often you eat it, the less special it will be, right? Because you've already tasted it a billion times, so why would it still be tasting so good? But it is still the best tasting burger you've ever tasted, so... It's always special watching newcomers eat for the first time. So I have a big deja vu right now, because, you know, like, remember when we were at the what was the name? You know, like, where the collectible appraisers are, right? It was exactly the same there. But those people were actually living, right? Because already then I had the suspicion that actually they all were all robots and not actual living beings. Which is a theory I kind of see as debunked by now, right? But this kind of makes me think again, are the people we saw in Solution 9 actually people, or are they also just robots? But if they were just robots, then why would they still need regulators? It just keeps on confusing me. Oh yeah, at least we do get the flashback. Okay. So I'm not just making the connection from nothing. They're just like the people of Everkeep. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm thinking. I'm assuming I've already suspected back then that the people of Everkeep are also endless, which is weird because why do they then still have regulators while these people have not? Then of course it might just be a cultural thing, right? Because, you know, like, of course they would be the same in death as they were in life, right? Because it's the same people. Maybe not read too much into that. Problem is, of course, even if he defeats Fiend, they cannot just get rid of the NPCs in Solution 9, right? Because that's our trading hub and stuff. Actually, also, they cannot get rid of all the NPCs in here, right? Because we can still go here and get materials and stuff. So do we find a way to keep them alive? The communal spirit that delighted Smire is exactly the same. Thank you for your custom. Come again anytime. By the way, prior to this, a young man caught my eye near the canal. He appeared to be searching for something, and rather frantically. Did you perchance see him too? Nope. Nope. I must say I'm curious as to what has him so flustered. Could you help me look for the fellow? My thanks. Let's head to where I saw him. I mean, you're like, if you just want a romantic gondola ride just with me, you could just ask. Graha, you don't need to, like, lure me to somewhere in... by other means. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Would seem he is no longer in the vicinity. By the way, you cannot imagine how happy I am, how good it feels to just be together with Graha right now and not Wuklamat. As I said before, I don't mind Wuklamat as a character, it's just like 99% of the expansion we've been glued to her, and it's just like, oh. I do like my friends, but you know, like, I don't want to be together with them 24/7. I do like to sometimes spend some time with other people. Would seem he is no longer in the vicinity. Let us keep looking. Whatever it is that troubles him, perhaps we can be of assistance. In Serenity and Sorrow, Grahatia wishes to track down the troubled Endless. I cannot claim to know exactly how Endless behave, but hopefully our man has not gone far. Let us split up and search for him. He is an Eldite with fair hair. An Eldite? What's an Eldite? An Ellison? Why don't you say Ellison then? I'm just assuming Ellison because I've barely ever read Eldite in this expansion. And I've barely ever seen any Ellison, so I'm just assuming that's gonna be the race properly, right? I assume correctly, if this is the one. God, strike me down. We reunite again after 100 years, and what should happen? Yes, my apologies, but I'm in some haste. If you have something to say, please make it brief. What are you looking for? Or who are you looking for? Your friend noticed that I seem troubled, so you've been looking for me? What kind souls you are! I've lost something important, the engagement ring intended for my beloved. A lanky monkey-like fiend stole it from me. After running hither and thither, I managed to locate the beast in yonder square, but I'm uncertain how I should take the ring back. Once I might have considered fighting for it, but given the shortage of ether, the danger is simply too great. Wait, you can still die? Are you kidding me? You're dead and you can still die? What happens when you die? That's actually a good question. I wonder what happens when you die. If I were to be struck down and my essence dispersed, I am not like to be remade for a long time. Ah, because they have an ether shortage, I guess. Oh, is that why they still need people? Because when they die, okay. And because they need to eat for some reason, I guess. I cannot risk that, not after my beloved has finally been given form again after 100 years. Though it pains... Oh. Oh, wow, that's how short on ether you are. I see. So when they die here, they just recreate them again. Which is why they still need their memories, but I still don't fully understand why they always need the connection to the memories. To the terminals. Though it pains me to do so, I shall give up on the ring, but I thank you for your kind concern. Initially I thought he was like, oh yeah, finally after 100 years, my beloved also died and came here, is what I thought he was saying. But no, they were here together, and she died in here, and they didn't have any ether to recreate her, so she was just in the queue, basically. Until it was her turn, or his turn, to be recreated again, right? Interesting, also this... The side of the building here is an exact carbon copy, just mirrored of this one. I just realized, because it has the same dents and the same... everything, right? Interesting. It's so weird playing Ninja without my normal interface. Because I have no idea what my Mudra cooldowns are. And you need to watch the Mudra cooldown, right? Because if you press the button twice and you do the Mudra twice, you messed up, right? Or if you press it too early and it didn't register, then you just stand there waiting and being like, did it register or not? But I thought, like, one fight without interface, that's gonna work, right? Oh, there's you again. Was there something else? I found your ring. I only needed to kill one of them, funny enough. Of which I don't really understand why there are even beasts here. And if there are beasts here, why don't you just slay them and take their souls? Because souls are souls. Life force is life force. Good heavens, this is the ring. You took it back from the beast. Thank you ever so much. I see you've already resolved the situation, Yomi. You must be the friend who first noticed me. I owe you my gratitude as well. My name is Euclase. I was planning to propose to my beloved with the ring, and thanks to you I can do just that. Oh well, that is cause rejoice indeed. Did the two of you meet here? No, we were sweethearts in life, but I died young and she only followed me decades later. Even then, our reunion wasn't yet to be, for the ether shortage means not everyone can be recreated. I had to wait until but recently to see her again. Oh, okay, so she did actually just recently die. Well, not recently, but she wasn't existing after death. A reunion beyond death. Such a thing would be possible here, I suppose. I assume you're newly arrived. While our memories are stored in the terminals, less than 1 in 10 of us has been given form at present. I myself have been reincarnated 3 times now, and each time there seems to be fewer of us. It's fairly a miracle that my beloved and I could meet. I see. Given the circumstances, the chances of existing currently with an acquaintance would be slim indeed, and slimmer still for a loved one. Just make new acquaintances then, I guess. You literally have eternity, the whole of eternity to do so. Truly, that is why I decided to do that which I failed to do in life, ask her for her hand. With her regulator, she was spared the sadness of my death. Even so, she never took another man for the rest of her days. She told me that, although she couldn't remember me afterwards, she could never shake the feeling that someone precious had been a part of her life. A sweet fool. The ring represents a yearning I have long carried, though I know full well it is only a construct, like these bodies of ours. There is a part of me that wonders if this is wrong, not that I expect us to exist forever, even in this form. But to be with the one I love once again and make her happy, however wrong this world may be, I have nothing but gratitude for Queen's Fiend. So what do you mean these bodies are just a construct? I still want to know if they're like organic bodies or not. Does it make a difference? Yes, it does make a difference. Because it would help me understand why they exactly need life force. Because if they are not organic bodies, then they're just machines. And if they're just machines, why the heck do they need life force to power those machines? And what's the difference between life force ether and other ether? I still don't understand. And what's the difference between the ether of a plant and the ether of a beast and the ether of a humanoid? Why can't they just kill the beasts here that it just killed and take those souls and life force to sustain? Now, if you'll excuse me, I shall go and make the proposal. I've made her wait long enough as it is. This isn't much, but please accept it as a token of my thanks. Tickets? For the gondola, to ensure... Oh, I am going on a gondola ride with Graha. Yay! For the gondola, to ensure that order is preserved, we must observe the proper way of doing things even here. It's very much like Queen's Fiend to make it so, is it not? Take care, my friends, and see to it you have no regrets. I'm gonna shut down the terminal, and you and your lover, sweetheart, with it. Well, I think I'm not, to be honest. Because, as I said before, just in terms of the games, it doesn't make sense to shut down this, and probably also shut down whatever powers the people in Evolution 9, right? Because it would just alter the area. I mean, I would love that. That would be the first time that they actually severely altered an area, right? Without reverting it afterwards. But I don't think they did that. Well, I think it's about time we rejoined the others. But what do you say we go by gondola? Yes, Graha, please, yes. I expect it won't be possible to do so once the terminal has been shut down. Yomi has a weak spot for Graha, obviously. Which is like she would jump at the occasion of doing a gondola ride with him. Come then, let us seek a vessel up the pier. Up the pier. I know she doesn't really show it emotionally on her face right now, but trust me, she is delighted to be able to ride in a gondola with Graha. Especially if it's only with Graha. I've presented our tickets. While I'm no stranger to boats, I can't help but feel a little excited. You can push off at any time. Mind the gap when you board. Oh, boo! 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 Come on, don't sit on opposite chairs. Benches. They still look cute, don't they? So why exactly did we take the gondola for like the 10 meters back to the others? Go on the other side, sit next to him, come on, so you can pull the... Oh, the yawning move, right? Oh, there she is. I'm gonna pull the plug. This is gonna be fun. Am I? I'm not sure at this point. I mean, I would. I wouldn't have even done this exactly for this reason.
What I said to you before all this.
When exactly do you mean? When you said you wanted to go on an adventure? That was a long time ago.
Life is a series
I don't
of
remember when you said that, no.
that you must be true to yourself, for indeed, there's no telling what awaits.
You might have said. Oh, at the beginning of the expansion, I think, is
I don't
when he
know
said that,
about
right?
you,
Before we
but
left for
I
Tyrell.
certainly didn't expect to behold such sights. The future is as fluid as the water beneath us. Truly.
You've been to Ultima Thule, right?
Tell
This
me,
isn't
my
really
friend,
much more special than Ultima Thule, I guess.
have you ever wished to be reunited with someone who has passed away?
Nope. Not so far.
I have. I do. But I think, above all else, I wish that they had lived.
Ooh.
If only for one more day. Just one more day. A joyous one, if I could choose.
I mean, if I would have to guess, I
did
would
all
guess
that
he
I
would.
could
It
to make
mean
it
me,
happen. I tried everything. And spared nothing.
because that's what one of his motivations was, to go back in time, right? To make the Warrior of
In that
Light not
manner, I
die.
was able to keep some few souls out of harm's way, but so many were beyond my power to save.
But it might be a little egotistical, but I mean, it's literally what he was on
What would I
about
have
in
done
Shadowbringers, right?
Had I this?
But then he basically made it happen, right? When he went back in time and met me again.
And you?
I'm not sure if
Can
he's
you
actually talking
imagine
about us or
yourself
someone else.
Spending eternity here, knowing no loss.
No, I can't. Because after a year, this would be very boring. I mean, it doesn't seem to change ever, right? I mean, yay, I can eat popcorn, the best popcorn of my life every day. Yay, I guess. I mean, I'm not saying that I couldn't imagine that there were other people out of that future where he came from, right? Like Sid and the... Did he actually meet? I don't think he actually met Sid, right? I think it was long after Sid died that they woke him up from the slumber in the Crystal Tower, right? And I mean, of course, there might have been people there, or even back in the first. I mean, he arrived 100 years early, right? So he's seen people die there as well, I guess. I'm not sure if he was talking about the Warrior of Light in his original timeline or not. Then again, even if the Warrior of Light in his original timeline wouldn't have died, he still wouldn't have met them again, right? Because he would slumber for a long time. So I'm assuming he's not talking about the Warrior of Light. It was nice to chat with you again, my friend. It feels as though it has been some time. Yes, please. Why can't we just have like a full expansion, just you and me instead of me and Vuklamot, right? That would be so much more. That would be so much more fun. Just we two. We just go into into the unknown. We take a portal onto another reflection, have a little adventure there. Wouldn't that be nice? Just you and me. Oh, I would love that. Having met endless like you Clays, I feel I've come. Maybe we take Kryle with us. I like Kryle. I still feel like Kryle has been a little dirty in this expansion since, I don't know, it was like, yeah, this is gonna be Kryle's big adventure, right? No. It really wasn't. I feel I've come to understand Sphene a little better. I feel like Alphino did more in this expansion than Kryle did. He was just there. She was just there to be the carrier of the USB stick. Anyone would wish those dear to them a long and happy future, and she bears the burden of this desire for all her subjects. Yes, we did get to know that she actually hails from this reflection, but they did not do anything with that so far, right? I'm assuming we're gonna meet her parents at some point here, because if not, then this is just the biggest waste of suspense they ever did, I would say, in this game. Anyone would wish those dear to them a long and happy future, and she bears the burden of this desire for all her subjects. Yet as Kryle said, we too have people we cannot lose. Come, Yomi, we can get to the fountain by yonder bridge. I still don't fully understand why we took the gondola, but it was sure nice. Even though Yomi didn't make up the courage to sit next to him, I guess. Oh, wouldn't that have been cute? He'd just be sitting there, you know, like, maybe resting her head on his shoulders. Then again, I mean, it's just headcanon, of course. I'm very aware of that. They couldn't actually do that, of course, because not every person playing this game ships their character with Grahatia, I guess. Or maybe they do. Because why not, right? Ryle and Arendelle are still out and about, it seems. Wait, did I? Oh, dang, I thought I talked to the elves first. So how was it? What are your impressions of those you met? It was great. Everyone was so happy. Just talking to them made me happy too. What about you, Yomi? Can we just pull the plug, please? I mean, sure, they're happy. Why wouldn't they be happy? Sweethearts, you reunited. That's a miracle. While it is a miracle after a fashion, the system strives to make such encounters possible. Yeah, I was just thinking that must be by design, right? Because it doesn't make any sense. Imagine if you can only bring to life 10% of all the people, and you just chose all those who were actually, you know, like madly in love with someone, but you always only do it for one part of the pair. It's like that would be hell, right? I mean, they strive to create paradise here, not hell. So it makes total sense that the system will do that. If you meet someone you know, it's probably not by chance. The terminals hold information on unfulfilled longings and use them to orchestrate reunions like euclases. Makes total sense. I see, that the terminals can do this is impressive indeed, but there is one thing I do not understand. Only one thing? Enlighten me then, please, because there are so many things I don't understand, or that just don't make sense, they just don't match in my head. According to Euclid, his beloved passed away decades after he did, yet they appear to be of like age. Well, they're Ellison. Ah yes, people are not necessarily recreated as they were when they passed away. The appearance of an endless, I speculate, reflects the happiest period in their life. Is that the case for you then? Not that I can tell how old you are as slowly as your people age. I'm not sure, to be honest. I have so many happy times, it's hard to know which one applies. I'm insufferably inquisitive. Whether it's nature or technology, I can't help but want to learn more about the world around me. You might say that discovery is what gives me joy. It made me happy in life, and may have been a blessing afterwards. The other Endless are content with what they have here, you see. They don't develop the urge to leave. But I was so determined to see the world again that I taught myself how to gain control of a vessel and ventured outside. You're a proper rebel. Rebel for life and death. Well, that's enough about me for now. While we wait for Kryl and Ellen Eshbia, I have a favor to ask of you. As you may have noticed, most of the fountains here aren't running. That's because, despite its shiny appearance, the city is centuries old and everything is dreadfully run down. Fountains apparently used to put on magnificent shows, and I was hoping that we could get them working again. Giving the control units a dose of ether should be enough to restore the circuits and switch them on, but being an Endless, I'm unable to do that. Really, that's what we're gonna do in the final frickin' area of the expansion? Are you shitting me? I realize this is a selfish request, but at the last, I'd like to treat the people here to the display. Just leave it to us. I'd love to see the show myself. Also, what the heck is about ether currents? I just realized. Usually in the last area, there's just five quests with 5 ether currents awarded, right? Thank you. The control units are built into the surrounding lampposts. If you tend to a few of them each, you'll be done before you know it. Once the fountains are fixed, we can round up Ellen Eshbia and Kryl and head to the hydro terminal together. Yeah, best lost area of an expansion ever, right? Yeah, so the time is nigh. Come, let's go. Really? I mean, obviously can't see if there's any ether currents here because... Oh, there is ether currents here. Ah. How many? Why is it? A lamppost to control unit, what?
We've switched on the circuits like you asked.
Thank you, everyone. Hopefully, this does the trick.
Oh,
Wow, it's water.
Amazing.
Wow! Look, Mother, look!
That's gonna be brutal. If you reincarnated here as a child. You're just gonna be the child to your parents forever. Great. Wow. That VA really was into that. Whoa. I guess.
It's beautiful.
I've never seen anything like it.
Really? Never seen anything like it. Wow, it's my water show. I mean, okay.
Wuklamat!
Namika.
Oh, where are you? Wuklamat!
By the gods, it's Namika.
Oh, surprise. You really did. Of course she's here. What would you think?
Begging your pardon, but I'm looking for a child. A small Shibrali girl. Have you seen her by chance?
That's weird. Why is she looking for a small girl? I mean, she should have just the memories she died with, no? Also, why would she think that Wuklamat was here?
You are Namika, aren't you?
Also, why is she ignoring Wuklamat?
It's me, Wuklamat. Don't you recognize me?
Oh, what am I to do? The child and I, we aren't related by blood, but she's as dear to me as my own.
Why is she ignoring Wuklamat? What the heck is going on? She's not even acknowledging her that there is someone there, you know?
It's all right. You found her. I'm here.
Oh, now she looks at her, finally.
You? Could it be?
Yes, Namika. You know these eyes, this voice. It's me, Wuklamat.
Oh! It is you! Oh, how silly of me. But if you're here, then that means...
No, why would she be here? She's not Alexandrian. She well, I guess.
No. I'm still alive.
Oh, good. Thank the gods for that. But what power has brought us together again? This isn't a dream, is it?
Well, kind of.
It's not a dream. Or rather, it is a dream come true. I so wanted to hear your voice one more time.
It's only been 4 days or so, right? Since Namika went away. Not like it's been decades or whatever. I mean, for her, it's been decades, yeah.
Just look at you, my Wuklamat. Stronger and more assured than I've ever seen.
So does that mean... That doesn't make sense. Why would she not recognize her? Wuklamat looked exactly like that before she went away and died. And they only said that the body would take the form of your, happiest period in life. It might, of course, also be that the memories are taken from that time, but that would be weird. I don't know, maybe it is.
Hazards you must have braved and hardships endured to come so far.
It was tough, but I made it thanks to my friends. And
This
to
is really
you,
just gonna be a series of reunions in this area. Come on, it cannot be. This is the last area of the expansion, and you...
I'm the person I am now because you always believed in me. Because you loved me as if I were your own daughter. Thank you. Thank you.
Am I meant to be emotionally touched by this reunion?
Mother.
Because the problem is we've seen them together in this expansion multiple times, and it's only been a few days and she goes away. This is not a reunion after hundreds of years or tens of decades of years. I mean, yes, it is for Namika, but not for Wukla. It's like, huh?
I'm so glad.
Oh. Okay.
Looking back, I've had a blessed life. And it was because I was a part of yours. When I lost my child to illness, I thought I'd never know.
So definitely not biological bodies.
But it rekindled in my breast the instant you smiled your little smile at me. You became my purpose, my joy.
Now what I don't understand is if they are so emotionally attached to each other, then why would Namika even leave the palace? That's what I'm not getting. I mean, for the story, she obviously had to go back to Yasulani. But if they were actually that close, and Wuklamat would be that heartbroken if Namika was removed from her life, then why the heck didn't Namika just stay there? Because as far as I know, she didn't just go there for for a visit or whatever, right? She literally gave her Wuklamat literally gave her a parting gift, right? So as I understand it, she want to go back there to stay there for the rest of her life, right? I mean, sure, she might have been like, oh yeah, I can visit Namika whenever I want, right? Although that's a little difficult when you're the ruler of a nation, I guess. Which is why I don't fully understand the setup emotionality of this situation.
To have this chance to speak with you again and leave nothing unsaid. I know not how or why, but I am grateful. So grateful. Where you must go.
You know, because, I mean, she left Wuklamat even though she didn't have to, so that means that she should have, have finished with that part of her life, So, and it seems she didn't. Just because she died, I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to me, you've probably realized that by now. If it doesn't make sense to me, I fail to emotionally attach to it. I'm sorry.
I will. Mama. I will.
The funny thing is she still has a living father. Her actual biological father is still alive, right? And her mother probably as well.
We'll meet again.
I mean, I know that's not the same thing as you know, the parents that you grew up with. Of course, it's just like still has a father figure if she ever wants one. Needs one. Might have zoom in on me. I'm still gonna pull the plug. I don't care. Well, I do care, but
I understand.
the
but
dead
still,
are
you
dead.
cannot bear to let them go. But as painful as it is to part, we're meant to live.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
and die. To let go and let others carry on in our stead. We can't cling to everything forever. Come, let's keep moving.
Thank you that you remind us who is the main protagonist of this expansion. It is Vuklamat, because Vuklamat is obviously gonna make the decision and not us as to what it is, what there is to do. Namika looked truly happy. The show was breathtaking, was it not? No. Oh, you mean the water show? Yeah, that was actually kind of nice. Made a wonderful memory. Thank you. Just to make sure, Kafkiwa, you're not going to disappear when we shut this terminal down, right? Not just yet. It's the Arrow terminal in the northwestern zone that holds my memories. You already know how to operate the terminal. It's the same process as the fountain's control. But you just put in a little ether? Okay. I leave it for you to decide when to shut it down. Doing so will cause the Endless here to fade away, together with this beautiful scenery. Also, we are gonna do it. Nice. Wait, what? Oh, it's gonna look different then. Oh, that's nice. If you still wish to speak with people or see the sights, you'll want to do that first. Oh, really? So you're telling me they are actually gonna permanently change the area? I love that. I feel they've done that. They've never really done that before, right? I'm actually missing that. I think this is so cool. Upon shutting down the Hydro terminal, it would not be possible to restore Canaltown to its present form. Maybe that's what they meant with what happens at the end of... Oh, at the end of this expansion will determine what happens in the future, right? So maybe it's like, if people like the fact that they not just completely change the area for good, then maybe they're gonna do that with past areas as well at some point, right? I'm all for that. I think that's so cool. I think it's understandable in MMORPGs, but I think it's such a bad habit, I would say, to just leave whatever you have touched, you know, like make completely new areas all the time for every single expansion. Except, of course, Cataclysm in World of Warcraft, right? The problem with Cataclysm was that even though it changed all the areas, and I actually thought that was really cool, even though there was, you know, like the problem with that was it did change all of the past areas, but they didn't become new areas. That was kind of the issue with it, right? It changed the old world, but you still had to level a new character to go through the revamped new world. While if you just continued on max level, you would never see those revamped areas, right? But if it would just be like, oh yeah, there's gonna be something happening, and the whole of Tanalan and Ul'dah is gonna be changed, and that's gonna be where the next expansion is gonna take place, or whatever, or maybe something like that, right? Or maybe just the whole of Eorzea is gonna be changed for some reason and burned down, or whatever. I would be all for that. That would be really cool. There is, of course, issues, you know, in terms of how does that interact with the people who are not at that same point in the story, right? Because, of course, in World of Warcraft Cataclysm, it was just like that it changed for everyone, right? While here it would be probably be different, because if it burns down, you still had to go through this whole story as a new character, right? So you would have to find a way of how to change it enough to look new for the newer people, but also so that you can still have the old people in the same area and it doesn't look weird, right? Which is what I was thinking about when we were in Tuliolal, right? Because I'm pretty sure that the people running around there were probably not in the same phase as I was there. And maybe they're actually kind of like seeing how that works out, right? Because there was some people... Because so far, whenever you were in a zone that you could only get into, or there was driftment in other zones as part of the story, you could only see the people that were at the same point in the story as you were, right? But I feel it wasn't the case in Tuliolal. For me, everything was kind of destroyed, but it was, in the end, it was all just cosmetics, right? It was just like the burned things on the ground, the NPCs lying around and stuff, which probably weren't there for other people who just were crafting there. I'm just assuming that they were actually not in the same phase as I was of the MSQ, and that they were actually the people being either further ahead or less far than me, and that they were kind of trying out how that feels and how that looks and how they could make that work. So maybe they actually think about changing older areas or some of the older areas for good in the future as well, and I would be all for that. I would love that, because it would just open up so many new possibilities of recontextualizing old zones and having, you know, like stories take place there. It doesn't mean that it has to just be located for those certain, for just those points, right? But it would feel really be cool to go through a Armorang, for example, without the lot of light there and it all being rejuvenated because they, I don't know, brought back the flow of ether and stuff, right? Stuff like that. I mean, imagine Amarang, but just, you know, like everything is just, there's just flora and fauna everywhere. It's just a huge jungle, basically, or something like that. That would be great. I really hope that this is what they're getting at. Yeah. No looking back. I don't even want to. I mean, I'm 100% sure I cannot miss any important things, right? Ether currents are still going to be there. Fates are still going to be there, etc., etc. I'm just going to be pragmatic. And what I said before, I don't even want to get attached to people here, so let's just shut it down. No looking back. We have to ever march onwards. Really easy to shut those down, though, I have to say. Well, I guess if none of the inhabitants are actually able to use ether like that. Now, what exactly happens? Do they just disappear? They are just holograms, basically. I mean, they're probably more than just holograms, right? Obviously. But they don't actually have a physical body. Okay. I mean, as long as
Sleep tight, everyone.
as long as they have ether channeled into them, they probably are physical, but just, you know, like once that stops, they just disappear. Interesting. No more popcorn. That tastes like nothing. No. Been here for 2 hours already. And we've seen like a quarter of the area. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm talking too much. This is Living Memory's true appearance. I had braced myself for it, but to actually erase the endless is hard. I don't think so. It was easy to me. Thank you. Yes, I'm a cold-hearted bastard. I know, thank you. I don't care. You can write about me whatever you want in the comments. I don't care. As long as it's not against, you know, like YouTube's terms of service, right? This hurts. I'd be lying if I said otherwise, but the only way now is forward. The Land of Dreams. Kapkia regards you and your companions with a sympathetic gaze. Don't torment yourself so. I ask this of you, so the burden lies with me. And remember, we endless are but facsimiles? Facsimiles? Crafted from memories. You needn't feel guilt for erasing us. Be that as it may, it's so hard to say goodbye. Who are you saying goodbye to? I know we're gonna meet your parents. That's gonna be when it's hard. It is. Nonetheless, it's our duty as the living to know and remember them. I'm wondering if you're gonna meet one important person per area. Like the next one gonna be maybe whoever Graha was talking of, and then one area where Briar's parents are, and then the last one where you turn off Kafkiu, alright? But let's pull ourselves together and keep at it. Keep seeking them out. I'd appreciate that. Come, let's head to the next zone. Yesterland, it's called, and another zipline at the Gate of Remembrance will take you there. Okay, so this is really what this last area is going to be about. Wow, this is, wow. Ah, but I failed to mention. By shutting down a terminal should erase the endless bound to it, those with strong, unresolved feelings may linger for a time. If you encounter such individuals, perhaps you could lend them an ear. For their hopes are proof that they once lived. You know, that half sentence there, that one hurt more than shutting down the terminal. Because we know who we should remember who once lived. So you're telling me that's the Ether current quests, yeah, of course. And other quests. System reboot complete. Bleep blop. Error, error. User registration confirmed. I bid you welcome to Yesterland, where the dreams of children and inner children alike come true. Please enjoy your stay. Yesterland. It's the name of Peter Pan. Peter Pan's area. Peter Pan's... Neverland, right. Why didn't they make it possible for us to actually do that in game? That's so weird. Would have been so fun. I don't get it. And they literally did that in the Isle of Harm already. So the system to do that must be in place, right? Amazing! This is also a recreation of an actual place. After a fashion, Yesterland is themed upon a period of peace, before the storm surge had engulfed the world in conflict. Didn't change when I pressed first, so I pressed again, and of course it's just skipped the next dialogue. Well now, another large-scale attraction. It's exhausting just being here. Don't like places with many people. So it goes with such places, but at the very least it doesn't appear overly crowded. That's true. I mean, I love roller coasters. But I don't like how many people there are in the parks with the roller coasters. in the amusement parks. Hey look, that's a recreation of the actual Alexandria castle, right? It is. On the far side of Yesterland is a castle. That's where the terminal is located, in the basement. Terminal? Oh, yeah, sure, the terminal. This one. I'll go on ahead and wait for you there. Take what time you need to get acquainted with the locals. Have fun. And we just go directly to the terminal and pull the plug. Like before, we'll speak with the Endless. We'll learn what's dear to them before doing what we must. That makes no sense, but okay. Sure. Right, let's start by exploring, get our bearings. The children are here, right? So probably not Trial's parents. I wonder who is it that Raha would like to meet again. The beautiful artwork on the ground depicts a swirl of stars. Perhaps such a sight was once visible in the Alexandrian night sky. Appearing to be a domicile, this building resembles those that lies at Merchant Heritage Found. The windows are composed of a colorful array of stained glass. Is it actual Alexandria? Might be, right? It's a lot larger, of course. And the actual central place in... I think it is, yeah, that's where the... Yeah, of course, nice. It's like over here should be the weapon shop somewhere, right? And the item shop. Although they're like one building, I think. This is where the dock is with the ferry to the castle. Then over here is the... Oh no, it is not exactly the same, I guess. Over here would be the jump rope challenge. And then this would be as this side. The side street, back street. Are you... Oops. Meet Prince Puck. But I guess it's not exactly the same. It's not an exact recreation of Alexandria and Final Fantasy IX. And those are the air taxis in Lindblom, not Alexandria, so... Are we in Lindblom? No. No, right? Lindblom doesn't have an area like that. At least none that is in the game. Endless Boy. Oh, hello there, miss. We're just talking about Sir Otis. Do you know him? He's a bit odd and doesn't get jokes, but he's really strong and can vanquish fiends in a flash. He's probably out there fighting right now. When I grow up, I want to be strong like him. The Sir Otis children spoke of calls to mind another Otis. It might be worth seeking the man out to confirm his identity. Thanks for telling me. It's not like I wouldn't have done... Oh, God. They really did it. Okay. Square Enix, why the heck am I not allowed to do a jump rope challenge? You give me Alexandria as in Final Fantasy IX, and you don't give me a jump rope challenge, and also the person jumping the rope is not Vivi. Are you kidding me? How can you do that to me? So much wasted potential. Wait, that's a ticket booth over there, no? Oh no, the sun is blinding my eyes. Oh, that's the Otis, I guess. A man is engaged in battle with fiends. He may need a helping hand. Oh, thank you, game, I guess. I would have just stood there and watched. Because that's so much more fun. Yeah, that's a ticket booth, right? From Final Fantasy IX. While mounting? What? So I guess we're meeting Otis here, not actually someone Raha knew. Oh, sad. Too bad. Oh wait, this is the ticket booth. But I also remember this from the game. No? Am I... misremembering?
I know not who you are, but my thanks for your timely aid.
Your bait's so strong!
That reminds me I need to do Chloe's.
And you too, miss.
Ha ha ha! Fiends such as these are naught to be feared.
Well then, dealt with it already, have you?
Be at ease, one and all. So long as I, Sir Otis, live and breathe, no citizen shall come to harm.
Otis! Of all the people, could you really be that Otis?
I'm certain I do not know what you mean by that, Otis. I am who I am, and I should very much like to know who you
It doesn't make any sense though, because Sir Otis did never wear a regulate. Then again, of course, his consciousness was copied over to the robot, right? So they probably at that moment they also had a backup made. So this is basically the moment when Otis died. Well, not died, but the moment when he was transferred to the robot. His consciousness from that time, that moment.
Lord Captain of the Royal Knights of Alexandria, yes? We met you while searching for Gululja.
He doesn't know Galuja.
You cooked a most delicious
He didn't.
repast for us. Fought beside us in Solution
He doesn't
9.
know Solution 9.
Gululja. Solution 9. I've never heard of such things.
Of course, the kitty didn't actually pay attention.
These events of which you speak are utterly unknown to me, as are you. I'm quite confident I would recall if we had met before. Could this be? Villainy! You seek to bewilder me for purposes most foul!
Yeah.
No, no. No villainy intended. I swear. Tell me I'm not mad. This is definitely...
No, it's not. It's the
Otis
one
we
from
know,
before he became a robot.
right?
Thank you. An earlier version, he won't remember his time as a machine.
I say! What are you whispering about there? Wait! I've no time for this. I must attend to my preparations for the founding celebration. The children begged and begged that I perform in the marquee play, and I cannot possibly disappoint them. I take my leave of you.
Good day. Bye.
Founding celebration?
Gods, what a surprise to meet Otis. He might not be the exact same as the one we met in Heritage Found, but still. Thinking back, he mentioned that he was a test subject for soul preservation. That might explain why he's here in this way. In any case, I'd love to talk to him some more. There are some things I need to tell him. A Knight of Alexandria. WoW is eager to go after Otis. Right, let's go after Otis. He's bound to know about the past, about the Alexandria of old, as well as Phelan when she was a living person. The problem is, he doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk. Perhaps we can offer to help him with his founding celebration. That might warm him to us. He's head off this way, come on. I'm coming, don't worry. Problem is, of course, you know, like if I just plug all the terminals, if I just shut down all the terminals, I might be missing some Final Fantasy IX Easter eggs. Which would be a shame, because I love Final Fantasy IX. Are you harmed, or are you unharmed? The latter, methinks. Which Her Highness replies with a winsome smile. I am, thanks to you, my dearest Otis. You again. Oh, I played the part of the Queen. I appreciate the offer, but there is no need. The script is my own work, you see, and I know Princess Fiend's lines even better than my own. There is, however, a scene with which I struggle. Hey, this looks like fun. Can I join in? Nope. Adults are talking, go away. You as well. I thought I said it was busy. We did, but we thought that maybe we could help. You're getting ready for the founding celebration, yes? I am, and if truth be told, we are in dire need of assistance. For this edition of the celebration, there is to be a play about the history of our realm for the children's enjoyment. Unfortunately, there's another missed opportunity here where they could have had us actually do a play. As a, you know, as quest gameplay, as a cool little mini game, which they probably won't be doing because they did not do anything. It's like it's just they're just teasing us. They're like with the cake in front of the fat chocobo, right? It's just like, ah, look, that we could have done this, but nope, we didn't. But with fewer of us being given form, we haven't had enough hands to carry out the production. Thus have I been tasked with not only writing the script, but performing as myself beside. Calm down, it's alright. We really are happy to help any way we can. Just tell us what to do. For the same reason the production is short-handed, it has become difficult to gather a crowd. I'd be obliged if you could spread the word of the play to the children in Yassaland. See? Why don't make us do the... Oh god, imagine how cool it would have been. Just imagine, just recreating the first scenes of Final Fantasy IX, where you actually have duel with Blank and also, you know, like the show fight on the stage where you can do flashy magic that doesn't deal any damage. Why couldn't we have this? This would have been so cool, come on. Once it's done, we'll take ourselves around and talk to younglings. And don't come at me with, because they only have limited resources. But yeah, I mean, then why don't they get more resources? And if they didn't get any more resources, then why did they spend so much time with the graphical update instead? Although the graphical update is a massive win, I have to say. But personally, I would have preferred better gameplay, honestly. Splendid! Oh, and to better appeal to them, we have adorable animal costumes for you to wear. I don't think Luke Lamont actually needs him to wear an animal costume. Together with your cheeriest bearing, of course. Alright, anything to make the children happy. I mean, Luke Lamont could literally play in The Lion King just like that, right? Let's see. Ah yes, this one should be suitable for you. Really? It's not even a new one. Oh, it's glamour! I was confused for a moment when you handed me the device. I have something meant for you as well. Let me know when you're ready, and I shall activate it for you. Ready are you? Then let us have you don your costume at once. Adorable. Marvelous! Also, the daggers are really selling it, I think. Marvelous! There's not a child that would fail to be delighted. It really suits you. Kiss my ass. Now that you are suitably attired, I pray you go forth and promote our play to the children. Concentrate your efforts here in the vicinity of the air cab station and see that you make it fun. Oh, air cab is what they call it in the English localization. In the meantime, I shall continue my own preparations here. Should your costumes wear off, I shall provide you with another. Your god is come! Oh wait, wrong quest. Right. Can't believe this is what we do in the last area of the expansion. You know, like, not like all our friends sacrificing us themselves for us to be able to proceed, or learning about the ancients, or what do we do in Alamega? Alamega was pretty cool, I remember that though. Or fighting against regular one, whatever his name was. Oh, rabbit monster, you shall rue the day you cross paths with this royal knight. Come to see the play. There's going to be a play with knights and stuff. Come on, let's go and watch. We can ride the air cab later. Look, it's a rabbit. What is it? Want to play with us, do you? No, I want you to come to a play. It's going to be a play about Queen's Fiend. I want to see it. Well, we'll head over to the castle right away. Thanks for telling us. Hey look, it's the quiet girl. Oh, hello there, Mr. Rabbit, what's the matter? Come watch the play. Ah, the play, I know about it. They sometimes have performances over at the castle. I've seen it before, so I was going to give it a miss. But if you say it's special this time, then alright, I'll go. Is it? Did I say that? I don't know. That's right, Sir Otis will be in the play as himself. You can't miss it. I'm assuming he's actually gonna play the queen. Well, who should interrupt my air cab watching but a person in a silly costume? Let me guess, you're here to tell me about the play. Don't bother, I've seen it no less than 50 times already. Yeah, see, that's why I'm on like, yeah, nothing's ever gonna change, so... This is not gonna be paradise. At some point it's probably gonna turn into hell. Otis is going to be performing as himself. Now that's a new twist to an old classic. Are you kidding me? Alright, just for that, I'm willing to see the play again. Oh? Are you here to look at Queen's Fiend too, Mr. Rabbit? That great big golden statue is exactly what she looks like. That's what my mom told me. And she's a scientist. Well, not really. My mom also told me that the terminal is a tomb. Her Majesty must watch over all of us from there. Come see the play. A play about Realm's founding. I love history. That sounds great. I'll let my mom know so we can go and watch together. Thank you, Mr. Rabbit. Yeah, I do look like a Mr. Rabbit with my... Well, not really hourglass shape, but, you know, like... whatever. Thanks to the two of you promoting the play, Meister, I could memorize the lines to my satisfaction. I am grateful beyond measure. Don't mention it, it was fun meeting Endless Children. Endless Children? What an odd thing to say when we're endless ourselves. It's complicated? I'd explain it to you, but the play's due to start soon, isn't it? Aye, very soon. I must needs make my way to the venue and see to the final preparations. Let's talk later then. We'll be cheering you on from the crowd. By all means. But hold on. What would you say to performing in the play as well? Oh yes, I would like that. Sounds like fun. I want to play the queen. Are you serious? Oh no, definitely not. I've never done anything like that, and I don't think I can learn lines on such a short notice. Rest assured, it wouldn't be a difficult part. What I have in mind for the two of you is a little swordplay, a duel between Alexandrian and Lindblum soldiers. Oh, did they actually do it? It's probably just gonna be a normal fight, right? That is certain to please the children and without the need for words. What do you think? Have at you, Lindblum scum! Ah, that keen are you? Alright, you asked for it. And it is settled. I shall prepare your costumes for you. You need but engage in a mock fight. No, I'm gonna kill her. Well, there isn't time for a rehearsal. The little mistakes are all in good entertainment. With that, I shall go and inform the troop members of the changes. Pray make your way to Proto-Alexandria and await further instructions. That's the castle where the terminal is. When we shut it down, Yesland and the Endless in it will also fade away. Let's give them a show to remember. They literally won't. And we'll remember them too. Them and what it is that they seek to preserve through the celebration.
Well, this seems to be the right place. What's on the program, I wonder?
And where are the others, for that matter?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The same
boys
music
and
as in Final Fantasy
girls,
IX.
Tonight's performance is a story that takes place long, long ago. A great conflict rages over precious electrope, and the kingdom of Alexandria has been embroiled in the chaos. When the royal capital comes under siege, the kingdom's valiant knights lay their lives on the line for their beloved Princess Sphene. I bid you keep your handkerchiefs.
What was her name in Final Fantasy IX?
Now, without further ado...
Camellia? I think Camellia, right? In the German version, at least. Never played it in using the English localization. Maybe I should. Lindblom scum!
Yeah, it's a royal knight!
I beg your pardon?
What a twist!
Unbelievable.
It's so stupid when you imagine what's it all about. Oh, come on, let me press X and a triangle and circle and square, please. Come on, man. How could you do that to me? Oh, and also...
I am killed!
She's so... That's what I'm gonna say when I die. I am killed! For Alexandria!
You must flee! All of you!
Sorry. Didn't expect...
Princess Sphene!
Princess Sphene? To be played by Lalafell.
Are you unharmed?
Oh, I am, thanks to you, my dearest Otis.
My dearest?
They fucked.
And so, in no small part due to the valor of the royal knights, the kingdom succeeds in repelling the invaders.
Repelling the invaders.
But their jubilation proves short-lived. For in mad defiance, the enemy unleashes a forbidden weapon which brings about a terrible calamity. Full many lose their lives.
Their lives.
The good Queen Sphene, shining vision of hope, among them.
No, Camellia. Marcus. The Final Fantasy IX play is better. And not just because of the improv. Oh, here's Vietnam flashbacks.
Go to her! You're supposed to go to her! What's happening?
Is it over already?
I'm pretty sure at an actual play, you know, like you don't realize that fast that something's wrong. Because it might just be part of the play, right? Speaking of improv.
And then, though the people grieved their queen's tragic passing, guided by her legacy of compassion. Oh boy. They, worked hand in hand to overcome an age of hardship, and in time, they built a peaceful and prosperous Alexandria. A new Alexandria.
Yay! Improv queen.
Pray forgive me. The memories. They had me in a vice grip.
All's well that ends well. I wouldn't dwell on it.
If I may ask, during your improvisation, you spoke of a new Alexandria. And so I'm given to wonder, do you hail from a time after mine own?
Yes. I mean, of course. He would be one of the first to ever come here, right? But basically everybody should be of a time after his.
My word, that I should meet the living in this place. There is another question I dread to speak aloud. A question I couldn't bring myself to pose to newcomers out of fear of the truth. Alexandria, does it still exist?
Yeah.
It does. It isn't quite the place you knew, but it endures. The descendants of your people walk its streets and live each day to the fullest as proud Alexandrians.
They live. We live. I had failed to protect my queen, but to hear that, it brings me a measure of peace.
You were there too, Otis. That is an incarnation of you.
Of me? That's absurd. But wait, something comes back to me. What if they were researching a means to resurrect Her Majesty? Memory preservation or some such. I volunteered to be a test subject. No. It is a fog I cannot pierce. But pray, tell me, this incarnation of myself, what was he like?
He was a proud and valiant knight of the realm.
That's not all. He was a father in all but name to the new king, Gululja. Whatever you may have failed to do, you're the noblest of souls, Otis. And your deeds, your sacrifice, gave us hope that we sorely needed.
Tis miracle. Verily, there can be no other way to describe it.
It is. It really is. We bear the legacy of your other self, and we'd be glad to bear yours as well.
My, what comfort you offer! With such dependable souls to take up my shield, I may rest easy indeed.
Yay. Good. Can we go to the terminal now?
I beg you, watch over our new king. The war changed my queen. To her final moment, grief darkened her gentle countenance. I've not the honor of knowing Gululja, but I pray that for all his days, he shall have cause to smile.
We'll see to it he does, Otis. I swear.
He's not surprised by the weird name. Not sure if I've ever seen a Mamulja, you know. Which is why I still want to know how Gululja came to be. I think they're just gonna ignore that. No explanations are required. I have intuited your purpose. There are paths only the living may walk. Mine was a tumultuous life, replete with joy and sorrow both, but it ends on a bright note, thanks to you. If I have one regret, however, it is that I could not meet the new king. Send him my regards, won't you? I will. He'll be happy to hear it. Ah, I see. This is below Alexandria Castle, right? Where you flee into the tunnels. Kinda. God, I really need to play Final Fantasy IX again. Are they making a remake of that? I need to play that. If I'm gonna play that on record for sure. Once it releases. I had a wonderful time, and I believe everyone here did too. Suffice it to say, I didn't expect you to appearance on stage. You did a fine job, both of you. Well, okay. It was a marvelous play. It's a shame that will be the last performance, but it will forever be etched in my memories. The fact that it's mostly children in Yesterland explains all the amusements here, but as happy as they seem, it's hard to think about their lives before this. For if the form of an endless reflects their happiest self, it means they died before they grew up, or grew up to find no greater happiness. Yeah, exactly. And they've been children for hundreds of years. Nice. Oh god. Well, we're here. Are you having doubts? No, I'll do what I came to do. That's the problem. It's again her making the decision. It's her disabling the thing. The thing. It's like, come on, really? It used to be us doing those things. It's just the fonder you're of someone, the harder it is to say farewell. If you're ready, I mean, then I am too. Yeah, whatever. Alright, let me just say a word about those we met here.
That night, he was the one who looked after Gululja. And now you follow in his footsteps.
And those of others as well. We've come to know how much Svin's people loved her, how much they yearned for peace. All of this we'll carry with us.
I see.
It's like waking up from a sweet dream to a bitter reality, but I'll never forget my time with the Endless or the pain I feel now. We're more than memories and stored in machines. So long as someone remembers us and carries on our legacy, we'll never truly fade away. But you do. The Sanctuary of the Strong, level 100, finally. Kafkia would guide you to the next zone. So far, there appears to be no change with the Meso Terminal. Let's take the opportunity to visit another zone, Ale Volcane in the northeast. A place with the volcano, eh? And I suppose we're using the zipline again. Why is it level 100 already, though? I don't get it. You know it, like before, I'll take care of the guard at the Gate of Remembrance. Come, let's head back. And this is where we're gonna end this supposed to be last episode of Gilganos playing Dawntrail, but obviously, you know, like, it's been already too long and not a lot happens. Well, this is probably more interesting than a lot of the other, than much of the other stuff we had in the past episodes. It just doesn't come close to anything we've had in the last areas of previous expansions, even Heavensward and Stormblood. It's not like, you know, like, you can't just say, yeah, Endwalker and Shadowbringers have been carried by the story. I mean, no, actually, you know, like Shadowbringers, for example, it was its own story. Shadowbringers kicked off like the last chapter of that whole arc there, right? I mean, if you think about it, yes, Heavensward and and Stormblood were part of the Hydaelyn area, right, and also around Reborn, but they were self-contained. They were self-contained stories, and only Shadowbringers started to actually do that overarching thing with Endwalker, right? So this isn't a climactic ending, and it's not a build-up to a climactic ending, and I don't know. Well, whatever. See you next episode. Don't forget to always GG. Take care.